Let's start with these strange, controversial, and surprising laws. So we're going to be counting down, and I want to start off with the Land Acquisition Act of 1894. This act permits the government to deprive landlords of a large section of their land and use it for making public buildings and other things. Originally introduced by the British, the law has always been misused by the government, of course, for acquiring land for their own private projects. Moving on to number 9, we have the reservation rules, right? So in every state in India, they have a special quota or reservation for different sections of people. In India, the reservation can be up to 49%. At the moment, reservations depends upon your caste, gender, as well as your religion. And the law has often been misused by people who do not actually need the benefits, and people who really need them end up suffering. Yeah, that's pretty strange. All right, so now number 8, we have the different legal ages for drinking. India has 29 states, and every state has passed laws around the legal age for drinking liquor. In Maharashtra state, you can drink liquor, well, soft liquor, when you turn 21, but you have to be 25 years old to have hard liquor. Each state in India has its own drinking age, which can vary from 18 in Goa to 25 in Maharashtra. However, national law states that no one under the age of 18 can drink at all. Okay, so let's talk about their limitation of knives law. Now, the Indian soldiers are almost all banned from using knives in combat. The Arms Act prohibits any weapon having a sharp edge and capable of causing deadly injury, well, except for the kirpan that has to be less than 9 inches, and those are carried by Sikhs. Now, did you know in India attempting suicide is a crime? Yeah, so according to the section 309 in the Indian Penal Code, if you try to commit suicide, you can go to jail for up to 1 year. Now, if you're successful and you die, of course you don't go to jail because, yeah, you're dead. Now, this is strange to many people because the popular view is that, hey, you know what? Humans should have the right to choose whether they want to remain alive or not. Because after all, we didn't choose to be born. So if we want to choose to end our life, it should be our choice. Interesting. Now we made it halfway, and at number 5 we have homosexual intercourse, which is illegal. Now this law caused a lot of media uproar. The law prohibits any kind of inappropriate intercourse that is against the law of nature. So if you're caught by police hooking up with somebody of the same gender and doing the business, yeah, you could go to jail. At number 4, yes, you could be charged a penalty for a third child in Kerala state. Yeah, so this stuff doesn't just happen in China. In Kerala state, if you want a third child, then you have to pay a penalty. Families can have up to 2 children in Kerala, and any more will get you a fine of 10,000 rupees. $10,000, yeah, that would have been a lot. But yeah, 10,000 rupees, it works out to be about $160 US. Now this law was passed to help control the population. But if you do have the money, I guess you can just be popping out babies like crazy. You just pay the fine and that's it. Now, here's an interesting law. Like, there's laws for recruiting Indian Air Force pilots. Now, a main requirement for an Indian Air Force pilot is that the size of the pilot's legs should be a minimum of 90 centimeters. So even for tall people, like let's say if you're above 6 feet, if their legs are not 90 centimeters, they cannot be a pilot in the Indian Air Force. I've been trying to wrap my brain around that one, but I'm sure there's some sort of reason for that. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm just saying, it just sounds weird. What if it's like 91 centimeters? Then what do you do? Now, number 2, we have the Factories Act of 1948. Now, this says that women are not allowed to work at night in factories, even though there are many other jobs that require women to work at night. And the final law that's super strange is you can't fly a kite without a permit. A kite is also considered an aircraft. So according to the Indian Aircraft Act of 1934, you actually need to have a permit to make, possess, or even fly a kite. Yeah, just like an airplane. That also goes for flying drones as well, but that's just not as weird as flying a kite. Yeah, it's illegal to do that without permission in India. Okay, so starting off with the first thing, what is India's new citizenship law anyways? Well, the Citizenship Amendment Act was approved by India's Parliament on December 11th, 2019, and it makes religion a basis for nationality in India's citizenship law. And this has never been done before. Now, what this law does, it actually speeds up the path to citizenship for migrants from the countries of Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. Specifically, the migrants who illegally entered India by 2014. But this only applies to people that belong to 6 religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Sikhism, Jainism, and Zoroastrianism. Now, there's a lot of controversy surrounding the fact that the law excludes the religion of Islam. The religion of Islam is the second largest religion in India, and it's practiced by about 200 million people out of India's 1.3 billion total population. The government of India, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, says that this law actually supports oppressed minorities from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. Prime Minister Modi, he said this in a tweet: "No Indian has anything to worry regarding this act. This act is only for those who have faced years of persecution outside and have no other place to go except India." The Home Minister Amit Shah has said that the bill is not anti-Muslim because it does not affect the existing path of citizenship available to all communities. Now, this law has sparked a lot of backlash for several reasons. Like, when India became independent in the year 1947, it was intended to be a secular nation where all religions were welcome. In contrast with Pakistan, that was created specifically as a home for the Muslim population of the Indian subcontinent. By certain religions now being prioritized in a citizenship law, the government is believed to be moving away from this foundation. Naraja Gopal Jayal, who's a professor at the Center for the Study of Law at New Delhi's Jawaharlal Nehru University, says the bill does in fact seem to be in violation of India's constitution, especially Article 14, which guarantees to all persons and not just citizens the right to equality before the law and the equal protection of the law. She also said, and I quote, "It creates gradations of citizenship based on religion, which is clearly discriminatory. India's laws and constitution are secular. By introducing a religious test for citizenship, this amendment introduces a religious criterion in the hitherto religion-neutral law." When it comes to the latest developments around this law, police have continued to ban public gatherings in parts of New Delhi, India, and other cities for days. However, thousands of protesters stood inside and around New Delhi's Jama Masjid, which is one of the largest mosques in India, making their opposition to the new law heard very loud and clear. Now, it's unfortunate though that several people have lost their lives over the past several days, including 6 people in the streets of Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh's Director General of Police claimed that none of the losses of life occurred due to police violence. The cities of Lucknow and Mangaluru have also seen losses in life. The protests have also caused several disruptions in various services. Indigo, India's biggest airline, cancelled 19 flights from New Delhi, as well as 16 other flights have been delayed. 2 major Indian telecom companies cut mobile services in parts of Delhi as well, and they were ordered by the government to do so. Also, officials have cut internet services to try to stop these protests. So far, despite the protests though, the government is standing firm. And addressing this in a recent rally, Prime Minister Modi, he claimed that the decision to implement this law is 1000% correct. The law is being challenged legally, and it's possible that the courts could rule against the government, but it's still too early to tell. So guys, what's next? The next priority actually is to implement a nationwide register of citizens in which all Indians could be required to provide documentation to prove their citizenship. Now, this would be based on a registry carried out in Assam, and it's a process that could leave 2 million people completely stateless. The Home Minister Amit Shah Shah, he says that no Indian citizen has anything to fear for a nationwide register of citizens because this actually aims to weed out the illegal infiltrators. Now, India's Supreme Court has postponed hearing pleas challenging the constitutionality of this new citizenship law, and the court has said that it would consider listening to pleas on January 22nd of 2020.